the benefit of disclosure, of transparency. But let us be clear here. We're talking not about individuals in grassroots organizations. I feel sorry for the lady who may have been targeted by the animal rights group. But what we're really talking about here, what makes this an issue worthy of this forum, are organizations backed by one or more very wealthy donors who have different views left and right, who can shield themselves from public knowledge because of the laws that operate under for corporations. They then give money into campaigns, and it is the public's interest in knowing who is behind that organization that may have some wonderful fuzzy name like Moms for America or Americans for America, whatever it may be. Paul said that combat of ideas is what counts. But to say again, I believe that in politics, it isn't only ideas that count. People matter because people are the ones who go to the Capitol building and end up voting. And people are the ones who respond to the phone call or the personal contact from someone on behalf of whoever it may be in that shadowy organization that supported them or otherwise helped them in the campaign. There is no public outcry, incidentally, to change these laws. The pressure comes from a very small group of people who have this very pertinent personal interest in wanting to be shielded from public view. There is no outcry that I'm aware of from grassroots organizations storming the Capitol demanding that the language that I read in the state law be ripped out as an affront to their rights. The other thing I would like to mention here is that in the world of disclosure, in the world of politics, we have many opportunities to make known our views through the media, through free speech, and through campaign contributions. That is an accepted part of political speech, is the act of giving campaign contributions. We, the Texas Ethics Commission, and I as citizen, support that. That's part of the necessity of our politics. What is the smallest price to pay is to know where that money came from and where it is going. Simple disclosure does not in any way inhibit free speech. In fact, it creates greater opportunity for the public to make informed choices when time comes. You know, there was a comment made by, it was made by Chuck in this introduction about a Supreme Court case called NAACP versus Alabama, which is a very interesting case. And it raises a very valid question here in Texas, and that is, I have no way of quantifying the amount of political influence that may be wielded by Michael Quinn Sullivan or a group on the left. All I can tell you is that that amount of influence is a whole lot more than was wielded by the NAACP in Alabama in the 1950s. We're talking about very powerful groups who are using these laws, not weak and truly endangered groups such as we imagine the NAACP was in Alabama. In also discussing the matter of the public's interest here, I do not believe that there is a cure-all to disclosure. I believe it is merely a tool. I would say that it is not that the public has a right to know, but that the public has the full expectation that knowledge of a candidate's, not just positions, but also supporters, is an important factor in their making an informed vote. It is that one thing alone that makes this a reasonable request of our political system. It would be a tragedy for that simple citizen benefit called knowledge to be taken away in the interest of a few very rich people who want to shield themselves by putting this cloak of anonymity around them in the form of these nonprofit corporations. And finally, I don't think this group needs to worry about it because I don't believe it gets involved in politics. So as a result, it is free to operate as a public policy institute.